Hey guys, welcome back to AIR Reptile Rescue. As I said in the last video, this was a part 2 video. This is the best reptiles for beginners. But in this one, we're going to specifically touch on lizards. The best beginner lizards that we're going to list here, we're going to list some of the reasons why they're great lizards to own. I'm going to try to make this one a little bit shorter because we don't have as much to talk about tonight with the lizards. Whenever I get to the bearded dragon, I'll have a little bit more to add to that from personal experience. So we will get started with this. The first lizard we're going to talk about is a leopard gecko. They're relatively small. I like them. They're cute. They are easy to care for. And as an adult, they only need a 15 to 20 gallon enclosure. I'm more comfortable, say, a 30 gallon at the largest for them. Give them more room to move around. One thing to keep in mind with these guys, don't cohabit these guys. They won't get along. They'll fight. They'll injure each other. One thing I always see happen with other owners that have lizards, where they ask, oh, well, I had this when they got injured. I can't figure out what's wrong. They will bite each other, they will hurt each other, and it can become very costly. Next, we're going to talk about the bearded dragon. They're generally friendly and gentle. During juvenile stages to young adult, they are very, very active and very, very quick animals. Please keep that in mind. They do love to move. Once they get used to being handled and realizing, okay, I'm out of my enclosure, I can just chill, they're really sweet, docile lizards. I mean, I couldn't say anything better about these guys. I recommend at least a 40 gallon enclosure for these guys as an adult. Do not forget, these guys can grow to be a couple of feet in length. I love my bearded dragon that we used to have. I miss him. We had him in a 40 gallon. He was comfortable. He was happy. He had room to move. They are pretty easy to care for. We'll get more into that. I'm actually going to do a series just on bearded dragons later on, after I finish all the series on snakes. But they do need to be handled daily, just like you would with a ball python or a snake. They need that daily handling so that they get used to being handled, so that when you reach in that cage, they're not trying to whip you with their tail, they're not trying to nip you. With our boy, it was actually my fiance's fault. She went to go feed him some mealworms, reached in, he thought her finger was food, he bit down on it. It happens. It surprised her more than anything. It didn't hurt. It wasn't his fault. He was a baby. He didn't know the difference, really. So we blamed ourselves for that. It was a mistake on our part. One of the things that can be easier, whenever you're feeding them, if you want to feed them by hand, with their worms and stuff like that, is feed them with feeding tongs. It's an awesome experience. Crested geckos. I actually have a friend of mine on Facebook. A link to her page is in my reptile page. She specializes in crested geckos. I love these little guys. I think they're adorable. They are of a slower nature. I kind of don't see how, because whenever I see them in their enclosures and stuff like that, they move around pretty quick. So it's kind of weird. But they do need plenty of things to climb on. Always remember that. Give them vines. Give them little lizard hammocks. Give them stuff to climb on. They're just like chameleons. They need to climb. They are easy to care for. They're pretty independent lizards. Yeah, it's fun to handle them. Let them run around on your hands and climb on your shirt and stuff like that. With all reptiles, you are bound to possibly get bit. They may mistake your finger for food, especially if you have small pinkies like me. I've had one bite me before. Didn't own him, but he was a friend of mine's lizard. So yeah, it's understandable. They will do it. One of my most favorites that is on this list is the blue-tongued skink. I just always love the way they look. Love that blue tongue. It's just unique to these guys. They are generally friendly as long as they're handled properly and handled daily. They will become docile. They'll love to be handled. They will actually ride on your shoulder. I actually have a friend that has a blue tongue skink. It actually sits right here across his chest and lays its head on the shoulder, and he can walk around his house and skink ain't bothered. They do move around. They are a little bit quick, but also kind of slow at times too. It all depends on the mood they're in and if they're trying to get away from something or if they're trying to find a spot to go hide. They are somewhat larger as far as a lizard goes, as far as length and body weight. So keep that in mind with these guys. The reason they're one of the favorite beginner lizards for beginners is because of the fact of their tongue. Because of it being so unique and that unique feature. People fall in love with them for that. The next one we're going to talk about is a spiny-tailed lizard. A lot of you guys, or a lot of breeders and stuff like that, and you guys will probably see it. Breeders aren't going to say, oh, I've got a spiny-tailed lizard. Or people that actually study these animals and keep them as pets and stuff like that. They're known also as Euromastic, which is what you will see them listed as a lot of the time on breeders' websites and stuff like that. The Euromastic is the same thing as the spiny-tailed. What it is, the lizard has its tail on it, and it has little bitty spines on it. It looks like little barbs on the ends. They don't hurt. I mean, I don't think they hurt. I've been hit by one. It doesn't really bother me. But, like I said, it's just basically like a little spiked tail. It's pretty cute in my opinion. They're easy to handle. And they are easier to feed because they don't really need crickets or mealworms or stuff like that. They're more of a vegetarian diet. They'll do fruits and veggies. That's what makes them easier. All these lizards mentioned here will eat fruits and veggies. They do need that water supply. They don't always have to have a lot of water in their enclosures. Bearded dragons, really any lizard, do put the water in so they can soak in if they want to soak. But honestly, they don't drink a lot. They get more of their nutrients and waters from their vegetables. So please keep that in mind whenever you get these guys. These guys are actually odd. The Euromastics, or spiny-tailed lizard, is actually more active during the day. So that's the best time to handle these guys, whenever they're more active. They're not like your snakes or things like that, where they're up and moving around at night. These guys are just like us. We sleep at night. We're up during the day. Well, depending on where you work or what hours you work. But they are active more during the day, so I'd recommend handling them daily and during the day. I don't know personally if they're attitudinal whenever they get woken up, but I know if you were to wake me up whenever I'm trying to sleep, I'd probably have an attitude too. So give them their rest, but handle them while they're up. If they're moving around, handle them during that time. We're going to thank you guys for watching this. We're going to close it out. Remember to subscribe down below. You hit that bell notification, you'll get notice as soon as we put up a new video for you guys. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you want to ask more about a certain species of lizard. I have a little cousin who's drilling me every day on Facebook, asking me all kinds of questions about snakes, even though she's afraid of them. She wants to know about frogs. She wants to know about lizards. She's asking me everything and anything under the sun. And because of who I am, because of what I do, I will answer those questions. So leave that comment below with your question or comment. I will get back to you. Get at us on our Facebook page, AIR Reptile Rescue. Comment on any one of my posts on there or send me a message. I will reply to you. I don't leave anybody out. I love all you guys. I love the fact that y'all come to my page and support us. The more likes I have, the more YouTube will put people on notice of my page, and the more I can get my videos to be seen. You guys have a great night. Come back and see us. Our next video is going to be the best way you can overcome your reptile fears. Y'all stay tuned for that video. We'll do it in a couple of days. Like I mentioned in the first video, we're kind of having internet issues. So as soon as I get these videos uploaded, I'll go ahead and start recording the next one and get that uploaded as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.